So, the votes are over and the game is chosen. Now what? Congratulations, dear voters, on choosing the game that we will be focusing on in order to bring it to the GOG Preservation Program. You may be wondering about how we are going to approach this. Well, here is a rough overview of how we will be approaching this project. First of all, research. We are going to do some good old internet digging in order to find out what are the biggest issues that players are encountering with this game on modern systems. We will scout forums, wikis, dedicated websites, modding communities, all in order to create a list of the most encountered issues. We will also determine if there are any specific dependencies the game needs in order to work well, or if it relies on registry entries, or maybe there are some files that need to be populated outside the game's folders so that the game behaves as it's supposed to behave. When we have this list ready, it's time to actually play the game and double-check the info we gathered. Much of this information will probably be outdated, erratic, so we'll need to focus on getting some actual repros and monitoring the game's performance while doing that. So we'll be checking how CPUs, RAM, VRAM, and GPUs are being used. If there are any crashes, we need to find the pattern for them. We'll also observe how the game behaves in full screen and Windows modes. Is it alt-tabbing correctly? Is the renderer providing a clear picture? We will need to check how the gamepads work, if it can be made to work with some additional mapping. So basically, we will be playing the game most of the time, but it will give us a rather consistent action plan for what fixes the game needs and how to approach them. So the above is an eval phase. That will give us a rough estimate on how much work the game will need. Giving you limited choices, we obviously did some of this stage already. But this is also why we were hesitant to give you a tight deadline on when the game will be ready. There may be still some surprises lurking for us and also potentially some new ideas to explore while preparing this game. And with that, we are moving into the fixing phase. In the end, we want the game to be an authentic experience translated into modern systems. This is why we want to focus on using our internal tools like our DX wrapper, input wrapper, video wrapper we developed this year, and possibly some custom configuration tools tailored to the game. Most likely, some of the issues are already solved by the community. But we will need to make sure that we understand the problem and the proposed solution before we will try to implement it. We can use various tools for the project, but the most important ones would be a disassembler and decompiler to analyze the code, a debugger to analyze how the program works, a hex editor for some raw code changes, cheat engine to make our lives easier doing testing, Visual Studio to write some code and scripts, Notepad++ for this good old school text editing. In this stage, we will be focusing on getting to the bottom of the issue, making sure we understand what is causing it, so that we are able to fix it, hopefully without introducing new issues. Somewhere along the way, this phase will cross over with the last phase. That's not the last phase. And that, of course, is the testing phase. Every fix we make needs to be tested and confirmed that it resolves the issue. So you can probably imagine that there will be a lot of back and forth between the two involved teams, the tech production team and the QA team. One is nothing without the other. This stage often takes longer than anticipated because new issues might come to life during this process, and those issues again should be investigated and resolved. And then, after meticulous browsing through the depths of the internet, playing the game a number of times, trying various approaches, fixing stuff, playing the game more, trying this one thing over and over for 100 times until we get a repro, fixing the game, playing it again, finding the new issue, learning about some forgotten language versions, introducing this version, along with new bugs to fix, playing the game some more, doing the whole loop for several hundred iterations. We will end up with a build that we are happy with and are confident to show it to the world. But it obviously does not end up here. And after a short song and dance, that is the day the new build arrives on GOG, we will enter the last phase, and we will never leave it. And that is the Upkeep Phase. The promise we are making with the GOG Preservation Program is a bold one. We promise that the game will work on modern systems. But modern obviously means evolving. New system updates will come, new drivers that might make some of the old functionalities not working anymore. Some specific system configurations might still make the game crash at some point or behave erratically. This basically means that this phase has no end line. We will be monitoring players' sentiment, reviews, support tickets, everything to look for potential places to improve our build, make it even more compatible, so it's not just this particular game that is getting this treatment. But this one hopefully give you some insight into what work is involved in order to make it GOG Preservation Program worthy. I hope that the final product will be something that we can all enjoy for decades to come. Because, all this stuff I talked about might seem tedious, but hey, we here are loving it. So let us get to work, and I will see ya.